The 2015 Ferrari 458 Spider. Now, the 458 lineup is one of our favorite Ferraris of all time here at Carbuzz, and we're really excited to bring you this car today.
What you're seeing here is something a little bit different to the standard 458.
Right. It's the 60th American Anniversary Edition Ferrari, and it was designed by Chanteria McGilbra with the Prancing Ponies. Now, she is the founder of Prancing Ponies Rally.
Yeah, and she's invited us down to check out her car, which is very nice.
It's stunning. I mean, just like every 458 Italia. Yeah. I love them.
She spec'd out really well, actually. Titanium silver. She spec'd it out.
Yeah.
Inside, it's like a dark chocolate colour interior, which they call Cioccolato Alcantara.
Right, so that's why she told us the nickname is Coco for the car.
That's what she calls her
That
car,
makes sense.
It's nice to name your car.
God, I remember when the 458 Italia, the coupe, right? When it first came out, it just blew my mind away. Yeah, literally. The design exterior, interior. I mean, look at this. It's as if from this car's predecessor, the F430, they skipped an entire generation.
Yeah, and that's why you see with the new one, the 488, which we've done before.
Right.
Doesn't change too much. Anyway, let's listen to this.
Because this is naturally aspirated. Yeah, that's not the sound of turbocharging.
No, that never gets old, that sound.
I love it. Yeah, 4.5 liter V8, 562 horsepower, and 398 pound-feet of torque. It's paired only to a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, sending power to the rear wheels. Now, the 458, what was interesting about it, it was the first mainstream Ferrari, not like the Enzo, those, the really like flagship cars.
The hypercars, yeah.
Right. It was the first mainstream Ferrari to be offered without a manual.
Was that quite controversial at the time when they decided to do that?
It still is, actually.
But you could probably get one with a manual if you asked, and you're rich, and you take your Ferrari down to Maranello and say, "Put a stick in there, please."
And put a stick in there.
They might.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, I wouldn't be so sure because it was never engineered for a manual, and to add a manual to it is going to require complete re-engineering of this car's mechanicals. So unless you have the money, I mean, I don't think it's really worth it. This car was designed for a dual clutch for maximum performance.
Yeah, okay, so the performance is still mightily impressive, obviously.
0 to 60 miles per hour, 3.3 seconds. Top speed is 199 miles per hour. Now, that's only a little slower, the top speed, than that of the coupe.
Sure.
So, I know there's a lot of people who are saying, "Oh, I would never get a coupe, I would never get the Spider version," and they kind of appeal to two different groups of people. We talked about this during the 488 GTB unboxing review.
So the lack of performance is down to the fact that the Spider is heavier.
Yeah, it only weighs 55 pounds heavier, and even though it has an all-aluminum folding hardtop, which is nice.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Cool.
And actually what's interesting is that hardtop, because it's aluminum, it actually weighs less than the soft roof, like the one found in the Ferrari 4 F430 Spider.
Sure, okay.
So there you go, and it can be opened in only 14 seconds.
That's pretty quick. We'll see that. We'll see that later on.
Yeah.
If you're wondering what the Prancing thing on the back is, so what we were saying before is Prancing Ponies. It's a club. It's first all-female Ferrari rally in America.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's what they're doing. Back to the car. Yes,
Back
here
to
we
the
go.
Car. Oh, I love this engine. No turbocharging, no supercharging, no forced induction. Period.
That's work of art.
It is, and I mean, all of these supercar engines, whether it's Lamborghini, Ferrari, McLaren, they're all works of art.
They make them, but Ferrari takes extra care to make. Look at the symmetry here.
I know.
You always open it up and you're like, wow, look at that.
And you can just I know a lot of Ferrari owners who just like to open the hoods of the cars and just stare at it.
With the coupe, is there a glass?
Yeah.
Glass.
That's one of the sacrifices you give up on this.
Yeah.
You don't get that transparent hood to see the engine all the time. Yeah. It's just because of the folding hardtop. What can you do?
I'm really digging this dark brown interior.
You know what? And it looks really good with that titanium exterior.
Yeah. I haven't seen this combination before.
She did a good job picking this. Yeah. I mean,
the Alcantara, when you open the door there, that just...
Wall to carpet Alcantara here.
It looks very luxurious.
And when I saw the interior of the new 488 GTB and Spider, it's very much an evolutionary step of what you see here.
Yeah, because the design, like you said, the design was so
good, right?
Amazing that they just just evolved it slightly.
Right, and the F430, I never really liked its design.
It's a bit
inside
plain.
or out. It just wasn't exotic looking enough. And then, wow, the 458. I mean, in some ways, I still kind of like the looks of the 458, at least from the exterior, better than the 488. Now, I've come around to appreciate the 488 more, but it was this 458 that I think it took Ferrari to a new level.
Yeah, I just don't think there's that much difference. So, they're both stunning cars.
Yes.
And as you can see, more than, enough for a guy to come in here.
Yeah. Little sign of this car's aging. It's a small infotainment screen here.
Oh, yeah.
Or navigation screen, rather. It's bigger now in the 488.
Similar to what we saw in the Huracan
right.
yesterday.
But that was actually because it was from Audi.
Right.
You got that really big
But it's
nav
right in front of the driver. It's
right.
the same thing.
The whole cockpit is driver-oriented.
Yeah. It's all
like, all the controls are angled slightly towards the driver,
right.
all done on purpose.
Bit of carbon fiber trim there.
It's all carbon fiber trim. There's how you select the gears right there. It's very simple. And what's nice about the 458 and really all supercars today, with the exception of some hypercars, they can be driven by anybody.
Right.
You don't need to be an expert driver to get behind the wheel and enjoy it. It'll handle beautifully in traffic. But when you wanted to, this 458 is just a killer on the track. I remember a few years ago, the 458, at least the coupe, it got Motor Trend's Best Driver's Car of the Year.
Right. I think
that's a huge
the 458
deal.
did.
Yeah.
And I think the 488 will probably get similar accolades.
Right. Even though it didn't win it this year, but...
I think it won, Chris Harris did it for Top Gear.
He might have.
He checked out like 17 cars and the 488 came out on top.
I mean, I know he loves Ferraris. He hates the company.
Right. He used to hate the company.
He used to hate the company. Now he works for Top Gear. Now Ferrari loves him.
So, the Prancing... There is a member with a LaFerrari, and we've been promised some time with that car. So, look forward to that.
I can't wait to see that LaFerrari. Here we go.
Checking out the roof coming back on.
Oh.
Don't time it, but... like
14 seconds.
14 seconds? That's about 14 seconds.
Well, that's what Ferrari told us.
Yeah.
All right, let's just say that's 14 seconds. Good.
Yeah, it's 14 seconds.
And this really is just like an example of like engineering art.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love how this works.
Would you go for the coupe or the Spider?
Depends where I lived. If I lived, sunny part of California, probably the convertible.
Maybe, yeah.
If I'm in the UK, coupe.
I remember what Ferrari was saying with the 488 Spider compared to the coupe is that they're expecting most buyers, at least in the US, to be opting for the Spider. And I think the same thing happened with the 458. In fact, Ferrari was saying they were planning to build around 1,500 to 2,000 458 Spiders per year.
I thought it was like 50-50 split.
That's what they're doing now. More so.
Okay.
But because this car, they knew it was going to be in demand because the coupe was so well received, this is what they had to do. And in fact, there was a 12 to 18 month wait list when this car debuted.
So Chanteria didn't tell us exactly how much he paid for this,
right?
As is her right, but we know what the base price was.
It was around $258,000, but nobody pays a base price for any Ferrari.
And this was a special edition,
right? And then she got the Walter Carpet Alcantara, the unique paint. So let's just say this car was around, I think, a fair guess, closer to the $300,000 mark.
Okay. So the competition for that, like you said, would have been the Gallardo.
Would have been, yeah, exactly. The
Spider.
Lamborghini Gallardo Spider, the McLaren 12C Spider.
Or the 650S.
Well, what's interesting about that is that the 650S and the 12C, I mean, they were both in existence during the 458's production time.
But this is like one of the later models.
Right, but they didn't really change it a whole lot.
So I'd compare this with the 650S Spider McLaren.
Okay.
This is probably the standout car in terms of design for sure.
So this would be your choice between the three.
I don't know. I think the McLaren maybe is more fun to drive, but from a styling perspective, this is one of the most beautiful cars ever made.
It is. And its design, again, it goes back to like 2009. And it still looks modern, fresh.
Yeah, it's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah. This is almost a 10-year-old design, everyone, and yet it still looks incredible.
Well, that's a timeless design right there. In 20 years' time, it will still look incredible.
Yeah, well, not just incredible, fresh.
Fresh.
It looks modern.
Yep, and it will always have that naturally aspirated engine.
Yeah, you can't replace that.
Which the newer models will never have. So
Ferrari is done with natural aspiration, at least for its mid-engine supercar lineup. Take it for what it is. I mean, the 488, it is more powerful, it is more faster than this, but it doesn't quite have that sound.
Yeah.
And I love that sound. But we're out of time, everyone, today. Thanks so much for watching. Any questions for us, leave them in the comment section below.
Okay, look forward to showing you the LaFerrari soon.
Coming up soon. Thanks, everyone.